Let me go to Uncle Stepdad. Go ahead.
Boy, that was very entertaining, man. I agree with what Mr. Lego said. I agree with some of what Mr. Chaotic said until it went off the rails. But I agree with him. He wasn't wrong until he got to the last part. But
What?
if I want to speak, if I want to speak on this, something about the sisterhood and the women having, holding each other accountable, I'm gonna say this. If we want to give ourselves the answer to that question, let's start in the YouTube streets because you all you got to do is look at these a lot of these panels. If some of the ladies that's not on here anymore, and some of the ladies that's been on here in the last couple weeks, like you can just tell that like a lot of these ladies have been wrong and been on here talking to a lot of these guys crazy, disrespecting them and talking over them and stuff like that. And then is a lot of that activity and those behaviors have been okayed. And I seen it myself where they not held certain young ladies, certain women have not held other women accountable, and that shit's like unacceptable. Like I grew up in the country, man, and when I seen
Oh, y'all
Ricky,
country on here. I'm sorry.
yeah, oh it's cool. Like I
Not
seen the
me.
other week,
Not
I seen the
me.
other, I
Country
seen
is
the
the
other
mall.
week. Oh yeah, yeah, but I seen
You
what
seen who?
last week how. No, I was just saying I seen last week how for one Anton was disrespected last week. And then a couple weeks ago, how Ricky was disrespected by
I was
not just one
disrespected. Who
woman,
was I disrespected by last week?
Queen Sheba.
Oh, listen, you can't tame a hyena.
Yeah, man. It's like
I shut her ass down though. Did you see me
you
shut her
know.
ass down?
Oh, I seen it, and the thing about it, y'all. Like I was super disappointed, yo. Like, cause it's like, and the way they did Ricky the other week, that shit wasn't cool. Like, the way I grew up, I've always seen men respect women and women respect men. I've never seen women talk to a grown man like that.
Even
That
when
that when I
Pink was disrespected on a panel I was on, and I was like,
yeah.
"Oh hell no!" And I checked whoever said that crazy shit.
Yeah, that's not cool. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest. And a lot of things don't get to me based off my personality because of the people who know me. But when I seen that the last month or two, it actually like one night I forgot what night that was. That shit all actually brought kind of tears to my eyes, man. Because I'm like I've never seen black women act in this manner. And as much as I love them, as much as I respect them,
Oh, I don't know where
eh,
you been at, big
oh,
dog.
oh,
Because
oh, 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 trust me, Anton. I know, trust me. I'm talking about on other panels. I know when
well,
y'all
no,
had
no,
other.
I'm not just talking about in panels. I'm just talking about in real life. Like, dog, listen, there are more women that are truly the head of their household. Listen, from the very beginning, we was taught a lot of times we was taught that the guy go to work and he just drop his paycheck off at his wife and then she do whatever it is that she do with it. Like that was way back in the day. Like this ain't nothing new. This is just a reincarnation. Like this is just the evolution of it in a different format. Dudes been doing this since the beginning of time. It's always been since men and women have been on this earth. It's always been women that move and then it's empowered by dudes that then empowered. I'm gonna be honest, it's not even their fault. You can't really even blame women when they just really started getting rights within the last 60 years or some shit.
Nope.
It was the simps that empowered them to be able to be this way. They
I
never
agree with that.
checked that shit at the door. They continued to get behind them. You listen, I love 21 Savage, but that motherfucker was walking in a slut walk with Amber
21,
Rose just a
21.
little while ago. Like I didn't forget.
Oh
I
boy
don't
was
care how many
pushing well.
albums he dropped. I don't care how much money he make. I seen that motherfucker in the slut walk with Amber Rose. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like this type of behavior has been happening since the beginning of time. So I can't even blame. You can't blame the prisoner for running the asylum.
True.
You really can't. You got to start looking at the guard that brought in and then is doing the shit that the prisoner told him to do. And so
And
yeah, we hold people accountable on an individual level, but as a whole, boy
I
oh
add one
boy.
more. I add one more caveat to it, man. And fellas, y'all probably agree with me with this. I agree with everything you said, Anton. But what's more dangerous than that is the dudes that are allowing. You got a lot of guys out here that uphold this type of mentality, this type of disrespect. when women act unaccordingly like that, man. And you know what I'm saying, what like I said, I grew up in areas and I'm 40 years old. And from coming from the South, you never seen, you know what I'm saying, like me, that's what I entail. That's what I seen. I never seen women act like that until I got older and start seeing certain shit on TV and hearing certain shit in music. And it's like, wow, like this is what this has come to.
Love and hip
And
hop, all them
yeah,
dumbass shows.
yeah, and then when you have women get on the panel talking about you ain't my daddy and all that shit, like I like we doomed, man. I've seen it on hear the music. I've seen it on shows. I've seen it on YouTube Spaces, and I've seen all that. So what
Well,
is
think
it like?
about it though. Like, listen, when I became the bad guy, when I got painted as the bad guy, I knew that everything was backwards. Like the person that actually got control of his household, the dude that actually got a chick that's submissive. Like when I became the bad guy, I knew that everything was fucked up because it was never supposed to be that way. I always respected the fact that my dad and my uncles and my brothers had control of what the fuck happened, and that when they, I don't know what's going on in their households as an individual, but I know when they women step outside, they a reflection of them. Mm-hmm. I know that much. I know they kids ain't out of order. You know what I'm saying? And even to this day, when the kids do get out of order, we still check that shit. Mm-hmm. Like right now, I don't care how old you get. I just got into a scrap with my nephew the other day. As soon as I got into it, my brother, because my brother wasn't there at the time. As soon as I got into it, my brother was like, "Yo, what the fuck happened? I hope you check my son. Did you check my little son?"
That's
like,
how it was back in the day, though. Like
literally, my brother called me and was like, "Yo, dog, tell me you checked that little nigga." You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And that's just the way that it was. That's just the way that it is, and it's always gonna be that way. You know what I'm saying? And so everything is just out of whack and out of order when we celebrate the thing, when we hate the thing that's good and we celebrate the chaos.
Yeah, but that's why I agree with you when you said black culture trash, man. I was with you, front and center.
Hold on,
just some bullshit.
Hold on, let me get chaotic in here. Go ahead, respond, chaotic.
Well, I gotta forgive me for anybody who's in the Divine Nine is in the chat. I gotta do it. I gotta hip these 9 boule niggas hip to something. First of all, I bet Balancing won't ever mention the name of any of her honor society that she's in, supposedly. And Mr. Let Go, there is a hierarchy in the sisterhood. In sororities, there is a hierarchy. You have your dean, you have your ADP, you have your old heads. These people it's a hierarchy for you as a new member to look at individuals who pledged before you, who came before you, and to go to them for advice. Hey, sister or sis, or soror, what can I do in this situation? What can I do in this situation? The idea is that the dean or the old head will tell them, soror, this is what you need to do.